if you're going to take a look at the map of the world and you ask somebody, what is the biggest religion in the world? Most people are going to say Christianity. But then a lot of people do not understand that there are a lot of different kinds of Christianity. So what do you mean by when you say Christians or Christianity? If what you mean by Christianity is belief in Jesus, well, then in that case, you're going to have to add Muslims in that list, because Muslims also believe in Jesus as a prophet of God, as a messenger of God. And they also believe that Jesus is going to come back. He's going to return to judge humanity. So if you do not include the Muslims and you call believers of Jesus Christians, then you have three major kinds of Christianity in the world. There's Eastern Orthodox Christianity, something that a lot of Americans do not know about, because all they hear in the media is about Christmas being held on 25th of December, whereas the Eastern Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas on 7th of January. Most of the people know about Western Christianity, which is here and here. However, within the Western Christianity, you also have a split, and you have Catholics and Protestants. Catholics and Protestants. You have Catholics here and Protestants. And you got a bit of both in here, although predominantly Protestants. Now, what is the Muslim world? Well, believers of Jesus include Muslims. And if you want to see where the Muslims predominantly live, it would be the following. So these are the people who believe in Jesus. If you take a look at the map of the world, besides China, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, and even India, everybody else believes in Jesus. Now, why did I put India in the list of the places where Muslims live? Is because even though they're just 20% of the Indian population, Muslims are the biggest population in the world living in India. Indonesia and India have the biggest Muslim populations on the planet. So you have Muslims living in here. So you have these many countries, almost the entire world, believing in Jesus. Now, Christianity is the biggest religion in the world, and Islam is the biggest religion by practice. Now, unlike the Christian world, where you have a schism between the East and the West, and now you have a further schism between the Catholics and Protestants, in Islam, you have almost unanimously just one religion. Now, everybody knows that there's Sunnis and Shias, even in Islam. However, this is not the same split as is the case with Christianity, in which they have completely different Bibles, they don't go to each other's churches, they don't celebrate Christmas even on the same day, they don't have the same traditions, there's no concept of celibacy and nuns and the Pope and any of that in Eastern Orthodox Christianity, but it's very much celebrated in the Catholic tradition. So you don't have any of that in the Muslim world. All of them believe in the same book. There's only one version of the Quran, and the Muslims believe in that, regardless of whether you're a Shia or Sunni. Furthermore, the Sunni population, which is the main Islam, is 92% of the Muslim world. The Shias are only 8%, so it's a small group branching off from mainstream religion. So it's not similar to the Christian split, where you have sizable proportions of beliefs. So there you go. It's not the same thing as is the case with Christians, in which you have legitimate distinctions, differences between your denomination versus the others. So in that respect, Islam is the biggest religion in the world. Now, unfortunately for Muslims, the places which have all the oil and gas also happens to be this circle in blue. So if these countries, the Christian countries, which from the map you can tell happen to be in the colder regions of the world, as opposed to the Muslim countries which are in the warmer portions of the planet, if the colder regions of the world have to survive in the wintertime, have to drive their cars, have to grow their economies, industrialize themselves, they need oil and gas. Just for mere survival, you need oil and gas. But in the Middle East, or in India, or in the Far East, you don't really need gas to survive. You just need gas to prosper for your economy. So if you want to survive, you need gas, and the gas lies with these people. How do you take gas from them? Either you ask them to give it to you in a helpful manner, or you got to steal it from them, or bombard them, or demonize them. And that is exactly what's going on. But you see, today the world power is America. Previously it was UK. Whenever you want to invade a country, you got to demonize them. So what did America decide to do with the Middle East? They demonized them so they could rob all of their oil. It's not just that. You see, the Western Christianity and the Eastern Christianity hate each other so much that they do not even consider each other as part of the same religion. And America hates Russia just as much. Now, Russia happens to be Eastern Orthodox, and they too have gas of their own. It's one of the very few countries, Christian countries in the world, that have gas. The other one being Venezuela.